Oof, sorry for being late. Ooh. Here we are. Whoosh. Whoosh. Why is there sound? I can't hear it. Hold on. I think there's something on my PlayStation making noise. I guess it's just that the menu. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. Stream chat not showing shit? Wait, what? What is it not showing? I don't see any ASCII art. Yeah, it's not even in the Twitch chat itself. So I guess Twitch is just like, no. We've seen what happens when people post that. It's no bueno, you know. It's usually like the Among Us dude with a huge cock. You know, whenever you watch like Summer Game Fest or shit, the Twitch chat is, if they don't moderate it, which they tend to not do, or like in a Tekken tournament, oi oi oi. Oi oi oi. That reminds me, I mean, I got this Assassin's Creed thing pulled up. They just posted this, or at least I've seen that they've posted it exactly 10 minutes ago. So this is all new for me. I have seen a lot of content creators were flown out to go play the new Assassin's Creed, and apparently on the 23rd, so that's next week, Thursday, is when they're allowed to, like, you know, when information is gonna start coming out, because they have been, you know, they've done these blog postingies. They've been relatively quiet about the game, considering it's a huge ass game and it's releasing in, well, I guess at this point releasing in 2 months, which still is not a long time away, considering, you know, I don't really think we've seen like even 10 minutes of uninterrupted gameplay. Whatever. Man. The world is a weird place right now. I've been so into the whole whatever's happening in the US now with TikTok. I am so in. It is so funny. That is the funniest shit. It's unbelievable. They really don't understand people, huh? Like, did they really think? So I guess maybe if some of you are not in the know, which would be wild, but I mean, you know, we're gaming here. Maybe you're a little more secular, or like maybe a little more removed from the whole social media space in that case. But so what happened is the US is gonna ban TikTok. That ban, they've talked about it for a minute. It's been like decided, but it's coming up now. You know, in 2 days, it's gonna be banned, and it's kind of looking like it's gonna be banned, right? The idea was the US was like, hey, TikTok is gonna get banned, except if you sell it to someone from the US, which I don't understand how that's legal. That seems like insane shit, right? Like, hey, your company is not allowed to exist in our country unless you sell it to us. That is some fucking mafia shit if I've ever seen it. That's insane. Imagine if you open a store, you're selling, I don't know, Pokemon cards, and you're like, hey, I got customers in the US, and then US is like, you know what? You can't sell here. You know why? You need to sell your company to us. Huh? Like, what the fuck? That's so insane to me. Regardless, right? I think most people saw that as the obvious move that it is. It has nothing to do, because that's the whole explanation. Ooh, TikTok's actually not good because security reasons, because it's Chinese owned, and you know, they're stealing all of our data. And the only ones who can steal data, the US fucking A, baby. That's what they want. That's the reality. No national security bullshit. They want that juicy, juicy data. right? So really what they want is either to own that shit, or, and that's kind of the other thing they wanted, hey, if you don't sell it, which they were pretty clear on, they don't want to sell it, right? Like, well, I guess people will just have to go back to US bred Instagram or X or whatever bullshit. And this week, people have overwhelmingly decided, fuck the US. In fact, we're gonna straight up download a Chinese app. Red Note, I guess is the English name. Yeah, Xiao Hong Shu. And everyone's going to that app, and now the US is like, well, not what we planned. They tried to roll that shit back. So like all the politicians in the US now, or like a lot of them are like, well, maybe we should postpone the ban, you know, push it by 200 days. You know, it's going to have a big impact on daily life. It's like, yeah, this is just not the out. You're just going to get nothing but bad PR. That's what you're going to be left with. And they, you know, they at least want a bad PR, but also all the data, right? But anyway, so now, I don't understand it either, by the way, because like now a lot of politicians are like, we shouldn't, you know, maybe we should think about it, yada, yada, yada. But then like the Supreme Court, which maybe someone from the US can explain, what the fuck is the Supreme Court? Because it just sounds like a bunch of dudes that, you know, are being paid in that position. They don't get elected whatsoever, and they can overrule democracy? Is that kind of correct? Because now they're like, now we vote, it's gonna get banned. Fuck you. It's like, huh? What? So now it's set in stone? Like those guys just, you know, it's like 7 or 9 dudes, and it's like, well, we decide, we have the fate of the country in our hands, unelected. That's such an insane system to me. Well, whatever, you know. I love the saga though. I love seeing how people are like, you know, you can't fool us. That's the thing, right? You can't fool people anymore. They know what's up. People have been smelling this from a million miles away. This whole, we want to buy TikTok because of safety. Hell nah. You just want to steal our data. That data needs to be US stolen, not China stolen. They got real mad about the Gaza posting. Oh yeah, that as well. Imagine, dude. Imagine being a little bit objective about that shit. Billions of dollars of CIA propaganda evaporating overnight as random Americans interact with random Chinese people. Dude, that is the craziest part of it all, right? All these people are going to Chaongshu, the Red Note, and then there's like a bunch of Chinese people there who like welcoming. They're like, hey, welcome TikTok refugees, yada yada yada. And people start talking like they're literally making videos towards each other and whatever. And a bunch of people from the US are like, wait, China isn't like a dystopian hellhole? Like there's people with like normal good lives? Wait, what's the price of groceries for you guys? Huh? Wait, is America the dystopian shithole? Huh? That is the best part, dude. Yeah, we need to get rid of TikTok because, you know, that communism is gonna infiltrate our kids' minds, and then like they actually push people into radicalization. That is so insane to me. Oh, it's the most beautiful 180 I think I've seen in a long time. Oh, it's unbelievable. The Supreme Court is a combination of the highest appeals court and constitutional court. They said the law is allowed under the Constitution. And now it's up to executives to actually bother enforcing. Oh, so they decide if it's lawful, but then they still need to decide, like, are we gonna, what's it called? Like, You know, like I also heard something about that they're gonna like fine TikTok, but not like actively pursue the fining, so they can like basically, you know, there's like a debt hanging over their head in perpetuity, basically, right? So it means nothing. You know, like a symbolic gesture, if you will. Funnier thing to me is that the Chinese liberals didn't believe what their government said about the US. That was so funny. Yeah, like US people are like, wait, you guys have normal lives and actually can afford groceries? That's crazy. And then the Chinese people are like, yeah, isn't that funny how your government lies about China? Just like our government lies about kids going to school with armored backpacks and you know, you guys not being able to afford healthcare and like ambulances and shit. Obviously that's fake, right? Oh man, that is what a week, dude. This has happened in like a week of time. That is so insane. And all the memes of like, you know, bye bye, my Chinese spy friend. We had good times together on TikTok. Oh, it's such a, I don't know. It's funny to see, especially as a European, where they're like you're not in either camp and you can just see it happen. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. And it's the funniest shit ever. All these Americans pile in, say no. Everything's bad. It's all true. That's imagine, dude. Imagine that. On the one side, it's like, oh yeah, we've been lied to. Seems like you guys have a pretty nice life. And then the other side is like, yeah, we have lies too. And you have to say like, oh no, actually, that's all true. You cannot make this shit up. This is unbelievable. And all because some rich fuckers were like, we want to steal data. And we want money, money, money. Let's throw our money dicks around and see what happens. Dude, they fucked around and they're finding out. It's, I mean, and look, realistically, all those people who went for the ban, they are the billionaires. They don't really give a shit. They're fine, right? And I'm pretty sure, even though TikTok is only gonna get banned in the US, it's probably gonna mean the demise of TikTok, or at the very least gonna cut heavily into the activity of the app. Because like in general, even like as a European, I can continue to use TikTok, but so much of, you know, I mean, I guess the US's biggest export is like the US culture, US propaganda also, right? But that's so ingrained in everything. If it's like, oh, there's like just no US people anymore on TikTok, it probably means the rest are gonna move to where everyone is as well, right? Though it is gonna be fascinating to see what an app looks like when it's everyone except the US posting on it. That's gonna be interesting to see what that looks like. America doesn't have propaganda. Propaganda is something bad countries do. Yeah, exactly. Tell me again how you figure out which are the bad countries. Oh, man. I remember, dude, it's all Kojima's fault. He radicalized me. I learned that shit from Metal Gear Solid 3. Because I was like, how old was I? I was a teenager. Right? And you don't really think about that shit as a teenager. And then Metal Gear 3 comes around and teaches you, hey, guess who's the good guys? The side you're on. Literally, that's it. And there's a bunch of reasons why everyone's the good guy in their eyes. And it's like, oh shit. That's, that's, you know, that's a thing. When ain't Metal Gear 3, Metal Gear Solid 3 release date 2004. That means I was 15? Yes, I think I was 15 then. God, you know you're getting old if you have to think about how old you are. Yeah, I was 15. How could you learn about geopolitics from Metal Gear? Metal Gear is apolitical, yeah. Unbelievable, right? But that was different, you know. That was it wasn't woke, you know. It was done well. It got good reviews. That means it's not woke. I kind of, speaking of, like, you know, if we have to dredge up the old gaming is woke thing, what's happening with Kingdom Deliverance, whatever it's called, #2, funniest shit ever, you know? Like, all these losers are like, yeah, he's on our side, you know, he's anti-woke, and then he just comes out and like, no, I'm not. Fuck you. Shut the fuck up, Nazis. Haven't heard anything about it. Oh, it's amazing. Like, for a while, the creator, the lead of that thing was like, I don't know exactly how it happened. He commented on some stuff, kind of seemingly putting him into the anti-woke camp, or at least the anti-woke crowd on the internet was like, oh, he's on our side, right? And the game, and then they start hyping up the game, because of course they do. They need to, you know, the two games that are on their side that seemingly are not going to be shit, they need to like get that shit up there. And then like the game's about to come out, and now, you know, the guy's suddenly very vocal about like, well, no, I don't actually agree with anything you guys say. It's very funny all around. It's very funny. I do feel like if I'm, you know, looking at it from, what's it called? Bird's eye view, macro view. I do feel like it's kind of losing a bit of steam, you know, like last year, 2024, right? I feel like it went really hard, you know, at things like Stellar Blade, Wukong, like all that kind of stuff. It was, you know, it was all around you in the gaming space. I feel like it's kind of dying down, you know. Now when there's like a hula baloo about some anti-woke shit, now a lot of people are just not even seeing it anymore, because it's like even more in the fringes. And I mean, thank fucking God, because I think a lot of people, no matter on which side of this thing you fall, most people are like, well, I just want to play my games, you know. I don't really want every game to be like some personal political statement. What if I just want to play Assassin's Creed, and who gives a shit if they miss the mark or two on some cultural shit? Who gives a shit if Metal Gear is political now? Maybe the game's just sick and I just want to play it. Maybe I want to play Stellar Blade and look at her ass, and then next time I want to play whatever, Concord or some shit, right? Who cares? Some people, most people actually, just want to play their games. Back in the day, there was some minor no black people in this game controversy, and he stood his ground as thus was a GG darling for all these years. Oh shit. Oh, is it gonna be one of those, you know, oh yeah, that's true for this game, but then like, because there's like some historical angle to the game, it's like, well, it wouldn't make sense for them, rather than, you know, the anti-woke, definitely not racist angle. These guys need somebody to hate without some woman to focus their hate on. They can't gain traction. Yup. The crazy thing is, this whole cycle of, and I guess the best way to call it is like Gamergate 2 Electric Boogaloo, right? Kind of did make me reflect on, you know, the first time this really happened, back in the day with like God, who was that? There was this girl who made this YouTube channel of like, we're gonna analyze, you know, like the feminist or anti-feminist stuff in games and whatever, you know. Anna something, I forget, right? And I remember back then, but that's a long time ago, right? I was like, yeah, what is she saying? You know, like, because, you know, they try to get you with that angle, right? You're like, oh, she's infiltrating our hobby space and destroying everything. But like in retrospect, well, one, I wasn't really into all that stuff. I was like, oh, this doesn't seem like for me, right? So I never really got into all that stuff, nor the drama around it. But looking back on it, it's like, did she just unfairly, just like now, the anti-woke shit is kind of like so obviously, you know, the wrong side, I guess, or like the stupid side of the argument. Like, was it the same back then? I don't even know. From what I can read about it is that her videos were like very surface level criticism even. So it wasn't even worth, you know, all the drama. Anita Sarkeesian. Tropes versus women in video games. Yeah, that was it. Kickstarter had fuck all money until they started the big hate campaign and then she raised like 200K. Oh, her mistake was covering video games without spending 5 years teaching teaching gamers basic media literacy. I've come to kind of hate the media literacy argument, not because it's not true, but it kind of just, you know, I think the problem is it's almost always true, you know, but that also makes it kind of like dismissive of everything. You know, whenever anyone says anything and you're being like, huh, try some media literacy, it's very dismissive of things. And some things deserve to be dismissed because it's so dumb, but not everything is. And I kind of, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to, because I also created like a knee-jerk reaction to a lot of things like, oh, media literacy, what? I'm trying to reduce it to like whenever it's like properly applicable. Also, let's not forget, sometimes when you say media literacy, it's much worse than that, because media literacy implies that they understand the surface of something, but they can't read between the lines, or they can't think a bit deeper about it. A lot of these people can't even understand the surface level stuff. That is far below media literacy. You're often giving them quite a lot of credit by implying media literacy is their problem and not reading or just basic comprehension, you know, object permanence. Oh, man. I should have kept my PlayStation on with the background music. That would have been better. Anyhow, let's forget about all that shit. Let's look at some Assassin's Creed. Some exploration deep dive. All right, we've broken down stealth, combat, and parkour. When it comes to exploration, there's a lot to discover. Don't want to hold. Yeah, this is an evolution we've seen with the more recent games. Valhalla had way less icons on the map compared to previous ones. That's a good thing, right? I've been playing Unity, you know, to 100%. I think I need to do one mission and get like 2 online trophies, and then the game's 100%. Dude, even when I have collected every pickup in that game, if I open the map now, it's still, you cannot see a map. There's just like still so much icons, and I've picked everything up. When I opened the map, you know, because that game was one I kind of just did the main story, never really bothered back in the day to do much else. So when I opened it up, starting on my 100% completion, dude, it was just one icon. It's just like, It's like the Path of Exile skill tree. That's how bad it is. So anyway, let's see if there's any interesting bits of information here. The world map. Are they just explaining that a map zooms and shit? All right, show me the map. That's a world map, boys. Look at that. Oh, salvage, change season. Oh, wait, you guys can't see it. It's you guys are blocking it yourself. Change season. That's sick. Can you see my mouse? There it is. Here it is. Change season. Interesting stuff. Kyoto. Scouts. That was like, I think that's like the infamy. There was like a system where in an area, if you get spotted, they had like some kind of guard system where you could either just do missions and it becoming increasingly difficult, or you go to other areas where there isn't so much alert yet. And it's probably going to go down over time in other areas back. Seems similar though. Wonder what this is. This 2 here, which is the same icon as this. So I'm assuming it's like guards or some shit. I think this game is gonna be sick. I think, dude, unless this game comes out and it's like on a technical level a disaster, which is always possible with games, right? Look at Unity on launch. That game was a technical disaster. They patched it half a year down the line. The game was fine, but it kind of ruined its launch forever and the course of the entire Assassin's Creed franchise. But whatever. I think this game, if you like any sort of, you know, open worldy, I'm running around in Japan shit, if you like that, basically if you like Ghost of Tsushima, chances are you're gonna like this game. Just wait a year. You're gonna be able to pick this up for like 30, 25, 20 euros even, depending on how aggressive they do sales. Ubisoft they discount fairly fast. So if you're not aching to play this on launch like me, this is probably gonna be, you know, a good one to pick up down the line and have some fun. Once you're done with Ghost of Yotai, you know. Why are they still doing these shitty boats? I know. I'm not a huge fan of boat shit either. Because it's a lot of that stuff just takes a lot of time, but it's also immersion. If they can work it into, you know, if there's like places with these boats with guards on them and you have to like jump from boat to boat, do some stealth that way, that might be fine. If it's just to cross a fucking bridge, but then on water, then I don't know. It depends on how much. Like Valhalla had too much boat for the game. I understand why Valhalla had boats. The whole Viking thing makes sense, but it was a little too much. Like often you had to get on a boat to start a raid, and it's like, well, I'm here already by foot, you know. Anyway, viewpoints, classic. Isn't it crazy how Assassin's Creed basically, I mean, weren't they the first or amongst the first ones? If not the first ones, Assassin's Creed definitely popularized and also ruined it, you know? They popularized this idea and then they went even harder in it, and it became such a thing that people got sick of it so fast. That is kind of crazy. Yeah, that's how viewpoints work. Pretty game though. That's gonna be most of this, just like looking at, oh, look how pretty it is. God, maybe I should buy a PS5 Pro. The thing is, I'm probably not gonna notice a difference on my 1080p screen, even if I get a PS5 Pro. It's probably gonna be a extremely small change. You know, maybe they up like shadow quality and some shit. Wait, what did they just do? Oh, okay. I think that's in Valhalla as well. Yeah, I think that's in Valhalla as well. We're on the viewpoint you can see in the distance. Well, each viewpoint unlocks a fast travel. By using them, some of us will be located in the heart of enemy-controlled territories, like on top of a Tenshu, the largest and tallest tower of Castle. Okay. So basically, you're still just gonna use it because, you know, you'll just jump over some roofs and you're out of there. It's probably gonna be fine. Observe. Let's start going undiscovered. Next steps on micro. We don't have the companion eagle. Good. Now you are the eagle. Damn, you can fly. It's crazy. Good vantage point. Okay, observing. Let's see how you observe. You could also do that. Even in the games with an eagle, you can also do this. So I guess they just took away the eagle. Oh shit, the zoom. That's very Tenshu. I think they did that in Tenshu as well. When you found the boss. To be fair though, a lot of the options in the most recent games, you get the eagle, you get like, especially in Valhalla, you get like a bird to target stuff, but you also have like the assassin vision thing, and basically it's almost impossible not to know the position of every guard at all times. It's so easy. So just removing the bird probably is going to help. Safe houses. Okay. Refilling ammunition, accessing gear stash, managing, accepting contracts. Okay, cool. So there's like little outposts. Okay. Player comfort. What the fuck? Pathfinder? Steam mounts. Oh, they mean like the auto padding? Yeah. I guess they're just... It's just a lot of the things that already existed, I guess. Oh, is it not auto pad? Maybe just showing a way. Huh. Objective board. This is my least favorite thing of the RPG Assassin's Creeds, where you just have the board of enemies you need to kill, and if you get them all, good shit, game complete, right? I'm not the biggest fan of it. It feels kind of lazy in a way. I kind of much preferred it when they integrated the killing of the bad guys like in the actual story. And I'm sure there's like some of them are gonna be story enemies, but then a lot of them are just like you kill them, boom, that's it. It's just like killing a normal enemy. It feels very checklisty more than anything. Yeah, and it's gonna be a checklist, all right. Oh, hold on. Are they doing the clues thing again from Mirage? That was good. If they make it so that you actually have to find where they are, and it's not just a checklist, but you actually have to put in some effort of like, you know, find clues, and then you can do it. But I mean, these seem very generic. Oh, he's in this area. He can be found in this location. Those are not good clues. That is just a waypoint on the map. You might as well just, you know, paint him red. But maybe that's like a beginner one, right? We can hope. There's still hope. But I kind of don't have too much hope for this system. It's never been super good. Even in Mirage, where there was some figuring out to do, it kind of fell flat. a lot of the times. Yeah. Okay, clues for location after the dudes where you should investigate. Organics connecting the clues to your map. I mean, sure. We'll see how that turns out. Scouts. More people will join your League of Scouts. Oh, maybe that's the symbol on the map. They can help you. They can gather resources. Oh. I love when they introduce a mechanic and then also a thing to skip that mechanic because it sucks. That's what gathering is. I've yet to find a single game where I'm like, oh yes, I need to gather shit. It always sucks. It always sucks. And especially when they're like, well, instead of just gathering, what if you need to play a little mini game when doing it? It's like, no, it just takes more time and actual effort now. Horrible. Scouting the world map. Deploy scouts. Okay, show it. Show deploying the scouts. Do it. Dispatch. Oh, and it's just like a circle of explore everything. For what? Yeah. Okay. And then it's, okay, I mean, there's not much clues and shit going on if you can just push a button and your scouts find everything. All right, so this is the alert system I was talking about. An alarm has been rung and the entire province has been put on high alert by your actions. You'll be wanted and tracked down by a deadly group of enemies, the Guardians of the Galaxy. While you wait for the turn of the season, which can happen dynamically over time, you can switch protagonists. You can also switch protagonists or deploy some of your scouts to cancel the provincial alert. This will remove the aggressive attitude of the military patrols in the province and reduce the readiness levels of the guards in military zones. What I fear is they're like, you can switch protagonists, you can change the seasons, which I guess initial playthrough you probably won't be able to change them at will, but post main story you probably can to some degree. But then also deploying scouts. My fear is that the alert mechanic becomes a moot point if there's like 10 ways of, you know, reducing it. Like, oh, I got spotted, let me switch to Yasuke. Oh, I got spotted, let me dumb the scouts, but now it's back to minimal level. So now you can go back to Ninja Girl. Oh, I get spotted, go back to Yasuke. I mean, oh, let's change the seasons, boom, you're back to one. Now you, so because you can change characters, there's always two times you can go in clean. I don't know. It feels like they're giving, especially with the scouts thing, it feels like they're giving you a lot of options, and that either means hopefully stealth is challenging and you get spotted a lot and you need to manage it, or these options are more rare to do than they kind of seem right now. Hopefully if you get spotted and swap and get spotted again, you have to actually deal with it. I'm assuming it just tracks per character. That being said, there's only 3 levels, right? If you get, there's like basic level, then level 2, level 3 is the max. So if you get spotted once with a character and you switch and you get spotted again, both characters are already like on alert level. And when you get spotted once more, you're like at max level. So I don't know. It also depends on what the downside really is. Like, is it that much more difficult or not? It really depends on how they make it. In Mirage, which I very much liked in that game, if you were max notoriety, the fucking elite guards were incredibly difficult to deal with. Beating them in combat was difficult on one-on-one. Let alone if there's multiple other enemies. So in that game, they really made sure like, hey, you kind of want to stealth and you kind of want to reduce that notoriety as fast as possible. Smuggling. Resource stockpile too big. Be looted by one person, even for Yasuke. Too big. Okay. Sets need to be marked with a flag to be smuggled out over time by one of your scouts. At the end of the season, all flag stockpiles are cashed in for you to upgrade your hideout. Note that one resource stockpile will occupy one. Oh, I guess the whole season thing is kind of like, in my head, it's completely tied to the story. If that's true, this implies that looking for stockpiles, flagging them, and then getting the resources at the end of the season, it kind of implies like, hey, if you want to upgrade your hideout and stuff throughout the story, you have to do side quests. You have to be looking around for these instead of rushing the main story. Because, you know, you can't wait until later and then do them all because multiple seasons will have passed. And you kind of want to do it. You kind of want to maximize your profits per season, I guess. It will occupy one scout. Oh, and there you have it. Maybe scouts just become rare enough because you need to use them for this. You need to use them for the stealth thingy, the alert stuff. Maybe it's just, you know, maybe that's the thing. If you use them to reduce your alert level, maybe that means you cannot use them for resources. I'm just spitballing here, but there might actually be more to this. Who knows? Saika Castle. Ooh, that's a lot of loot. One scout. Oh wow, it's like that few? Wait, what the fuck? Hold on. I thought it was going to be this entire barn is just one flag. But there's an icon here, there's an icon here. So that would be already 2 smugglers? 2 scouts you need to waste on this? That's kind of... that might just not be worth it. You can always pay with in-game currency, thank fucking god, at a kakurega. Speed up their return, be ready for another deployment. So you can money sink, okay. Okay. We'll see if this is true. Though managing wisely, if it could be cool, if it's a cool balance, that might be fun. It also could be just a lot of busy work. We'll see how that turns out. Every place you discover will contribute to your progression. Most of my fun can be completed. Each character will have their unique set of activities. For example, Naoe has a unique Kujikiri meditation activity. Helps her focus her mind and reveals more about her life and backstory. God, what a unique idea! I've never seen a game set in an older time period Japan, where your character can sit down and meditate and then talk about his personal life. I've never seen anything like it. Definitely not in Ghost of Tsushima. Definitely not there. Super unique. Meanwhile, Yasuke will encounter people in the world that can teach him new weapon, specific kata, special maneuvers you can unlock by performing a series of fight moves in specific order with good timing. Yasuke can also show off his skills in various horse archery events. Wait, so now it doesn't learn new skills, he just, you know, fucking meditates, and Yasuke's like, oh, I can learn new shit. I can shoot bows on a horse. Both Naoe and Yasuke can participate in the painting of wild animals of Japan, showcasing the diversity and majesty of its ecosystems. Okay, we can watch her paint.
Good view from here.
Good view. Name. And she's fast. Holy shit. She's like, ooh, realistic painting. Wall decoration? Oh my god. Oh my lord. She was fast. Because that bird ain't sitting there. Oh, that's it? Okay, okay, okay. So I guess kind of light on. I guess this is just about exploration. I'm very curious about this one. The map, because it says change season here. This definitely implies, again, this definitely implies post main story, you'll be able to change the season at will. But how does that interact with all the things that reset per season? You know, like, oh, you get the resources. Ooh, you know, alerts go down. Does that mean post game you can just like get rid of everything super fast? Or is there a limit to it? Maybe it's like, hey, you can only change season, you know, every whatever in-game time, you know, every half hour of in-game time. Something like that. Could be possible that they put a time limit on it. Because realistically, other than, I guess, photo mode, or if you want to, you know, cheese around with some of the in-game stuff, other than that, there's not any reason to change seasons often, I guess. A post game, that is. Post main story. Huh. I'm excited. I am excited for it. Too bad I have to wait longer and longer every time. But also maybe good. Hold on, let me bring Chad back. Which one is it? This one? There we go. There we go. Let's load and not fuck up the save file again. Was it this? I think it was. Wow. We know the way. We've been here. Hold on, I think I fucked up. Damn, I literally done this 2 days ago and I already forgot. I need to get this one first, I believe. Yeah. Oh. Now we can close it. Oh. Seems like a really inefficient system. I mean, I assume they don't want anyone to be here. Wait. Oh yeah, there's no block here. Fuck! I actually fucked up. I did a oopsie. Small oopsie. I should have just... Wait, no, that wouldn't have been possible. Yeah, this is how you need to do it. This is the worst part, the constant shifting. Just to fly through fences. Ugh. Just like in Wishmaster, but not exactly. God. Has anyone ever seen those movies? Wishmaster? Like I'm pretty sure they're like extremely bad movies, but for whatever reason, they were pretty memorable to me. Watch Red Letter Media talk about one of them, I think. Yeah, I think, have I watched all of them? I definitely watched more than one. I don't think I've seen all of them because they made a few. Definitely 3 at least, I believe. Basically, the idea is there's some kind of demon being, like a genie, and he will grant your wishes, but it always came true in like a bad way, you know. What I'm referencing, there's a scene where a guy's like behind bars, and the Wishmaster's like, "Hey, you can wish for anything." He's like, "You know what? I wish I would just fly out of this prison," right? And then he does, and he gets like squished between the bars, like completely mangled and dead. But he did fly right through those bars. And I think there's also one where a guy's like, I don't know what the prompt exactly was, but it basically comes down to like I wish he would go fuck himself or something. He was, you know, he was wishing this upon another guy. He's like, well, I wish he would fuck himself. And then like the guy's torso would like twist 180, break itself, and then like fall over to, you know, fuck himself. Why is the door not open? Did I fuck it up? Oh. Whoops. Gotta consult a lawyer when making supernatural wishes. I know, right? We've all thought about it too. Like, what would you wish for? But also, how could that go wrong? Because, you know, that's like a classic trope when people are like, hey, if a genie came around, you can wish for anything. What would you wish for? You know, and you have basic ass people who've never considered this a day in their life. They're like, huh, I wish I could fly. And I'm like, okay, that's beginner level. I mean, flying, obviously, you know, or like, I wish I could Goku teleport. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. That actually would be cool. the one I always come back to, you know, if we're assume for a second it's not an evil wishmaster, but it's like the wish comes true in the way you would imagine it in your head, right? What I number one would wish for is the power of metamorphosis, right? Because think about it, you can morph your body in any way you want, just like a whoop, perfect body. Also, you know, whatever, right? Oh, you want to fly? I turn into a bird. Oh, you want to whatever, right? I'll become a fly. I can squeeze through every hole. I like. But then, exactly to your point, that's when you think, well, what if it's not a benevolent wishmaster? What if there's something bad about it? For example, I'm gonna turn into a bird, and then you also have the brain capacity of a bird, and now you're forever a bird because you can't independently think that you want to go back, right? Or, you know, the transforming is like, oh, I want to be skinny with my power, and like your body's like, ah! You're like your insides start moving and shit. It's like, ah, God, but that might still be worth it to like, if that's the only thing, about it, if it's just mega painful, but like you could still fucking do it, right? I mean, but yeah, given no negative, like if it's just like your body just changes, but you in your head is still all fine. There's like no weird downsides or pain or anything like that. That would be my number one pick because it solves, you know, ooh, I want to fly. Well, yeah, you can transform into anything that can fly. You can, like, the options are endless, really, right? Oh, I can transform into Elon Musk, and now let's sell some of the assets, right? Let's get that money, right? Oh yeah. There's a lot you can do. Anyway, give me a second. I'm gonna blow my nose. I'm gonna blow my nose. Poof. All right, back. I was just thinking, solution to one of the problems, right? Instead of wishing for the power of metamorphosis, you can wish for the power of doing the metamorphosis to anything you touch. Think about it. You can still do it to yourself. You can be like, boom, I touch myself, metamorphosize myself. But you can also be like, your body changes. Basically, you'll be the hero of Hollywood, right? No need to impersonate and steal money. You'll make a killing just in Hollywood alone. Just be like, hey, what bra size do you like? Psh, got it. Okay, Clayface. Yeah, but other people too. And just things. Here's a lead bar. Poof, it's gold now. The classic, you know? Oh, you got water? Here's wine. Dude, you can even... Yo! So that means with that power, you can also go to like the church and be like, look at this shit. And they're like, oh, he's back. It's happening. What's your name, good sir? Jesus. My name is Jesus. Yeah, that might be one of the most powerful, because here's the thing, like imagine if it's like the Wishmaster version of it, right? Like, oh, if I touch something and then I mentally decide I want to do metamorphosis, important, not just it happens automatically, right? And I mentally decide for it to happen, even if it's the shitty version, you can still use it on your enemies, you know? It'll just be a weapon. Sure, you can't fly around as a bird. I just wish for something like Columbus's ship sinking with all hands before he got to the New World. I ceased to exist, but it can't really go wrong. Like... Well, as this little wish thing, I want to alter the course of history. You're like, you know what, Mr. Wishmaster? What about dinosaurs, right? Imagine instead of... You know, it's a meteor that falls. The dinosaurs just get meteor. Now what? You know what's the one wish thing that I haven't really figured out yet for myself? That's obviously the question of extending your life, right? And I'm specifically calling it extending your life and not living forever, because obviously, you know, that's the red herring, right? If you're if you meet the Wishmaster and he's like, oh, okay, I want to live forever, right? Yeah, you're fucked. Because like, what if the world blows up and you're like suffocating in space, but you won't die? Like, that's horrible, right? You don't want that. So like, what's the version of that where you can be like, okay, I'm virtually, you know, virtually unkillable? Like, basically you don't die of like injury, you don't die of disease, blah blah blah, but there's a way out. But then again, you know, you would need some kind of auto healing, right? I've also thought about, what about eternal cell regeneration, as in, you know, a big part of your body not lasting over time is because your cells stop regenerating or get less efficient at it, yada yada yada. What if you just wish for that to not stop? You can still die, you know, you can still be in a plane crash, whatever. But okay, every cell in your body now has cancer. But That is a tough one to crack, right? I kind of want to be not afraid of doing shit, you know, and being able to experience hundreds of years if I want to, without feeling like I'm gonna be in trouble. But at the same time, I also want an out. Like if I'm like, okay, you know, it's been 1,000 years, you know, I've seen it, you know, good enough for me. Like what I don't know. I still think just having your cells not, you know, that they don't stop replenishing like they do when you're young. I don't necessarily see a downside to it. Because it's not like when your body, you know, reduces cell regeneration over time. It's not like you're less likely to get cancer, right? So in fact, if that was true, that would be sick. Doctors could be like, oh, you're 50, you're clear. If you don't have cancer now, you're never gonna get it. Like, that would be sick. But the reverse would be fucked up. It's like, ooh, you know, the first 20 years of your life, better watch out. Cancer is lurking, bitch. Shove, shove. Oh yeah. Back we go. I think, you know, there's also the obvious one, which is I want to be a Wishmaster myself. But then it really depends on, you know, what are the dots on the I for that one. You know, that could be a disaster in of its own. We've all seen Aladdin. Where you should? What the fuck, dude? Come on. It's gonna be right on me as well. Fuck. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we gotta lure him away from the spawn point.
The Oracle's Cave, where Kane's first fateful meeting with Mobius occurred. Mobius played the role of a doddering soothsayer, stirring his pot of visions while dispensing enigmatic predictions to gullible visitors.
We've seen him in
Underneath
Blood
the
Omen.
facade was Mobius the Time Streamer, sorcerer of the Circle of Nine, a ruthless manipulator with the power to bend time. Since his murder at Kane's hands centuries ago, these caves have stood vacant, though, like Mobius himself, they are rumored to be only a facade for a much larger, more elaborate complex.
More elaborate complex.
I sensed that Kane was here, and at that moment, I would have plumbed the depths of hell to find him.
He would have plumbed. Oh yeah, I guess we haven't talked about the biggest news. Switch number 2.
This, I deduced, must be
Which
the
I
man
guess that's
himself,
the news.
the
Switch
time
number
streamer,
2.
Mobius. He seemed not at all the impressive figure I had imagined from Kane's boasted exploits. And yet, even this cold image radiated a certain undeniable power.
They learned from the Wii U debacle. I am gonna say I kind of disagree, because in that trailer there's like a gimmick they show which I'm like, that is not catching on, and that's that you can use the Joy-Cons as a mouse. And to me that's like, I can see what the logic is there, but also it's a console, and people, how many times do you have a flat surface in front of you when you're playing with your Switch? You know, sure, if it's lunchtime at work and you're at your desk, or like I'm at my desk here, sure, but like for a, especially it's a Switch, because like the majority of it is going to be geared towards, I guess, a younger age. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me it smells like we need something like that's one of those unique control things, but we also don't want something that, you know, like changes shit a lot, because we're actually fine how we are. It'll probably like one of those niche things that more often than not it's just gonna be one of those components about your controller that's gonna, you know, it's gonna be a point of failure. It's gonna break even while you won't use it at all. Optimize don't need a flat surface. You could use your tie or something. But still, that's, I mean, but then it depends on, oh, but I'm not wearing pants, or I'm wearing a pants that where it catches on. Like, there's so many ways that it's not gonna be optimal. It is a minor gimmick and not the USP, like with the Wii U for starters. Yeah, I do feel like the Wii U is, you know, like, you can give the Wii U a lot of shit, but realistically, it is the core idea of the Switch. You know, like, it's a precursor to the Switch. The idea of like, well, there's a screen in your hands, but also a screen on the TV. Like, it's just a worse... It's just the Switch concept in its infancy, really. Also, some of the Wii U games are still being hailed as like the best Switch games. For example, Breath of the Wild is a Wii U game. Mario Kart 8 is a Wii U game. Those are like two of like the best-selling Nintendo games, I guess. So it's like, you know, I feel like the Wii U had some good things. But yeah, it was kind of a disaster of a console. Also the name, right? Because yeah, Switch 2, I guess I saw a video by what's his name, Kyle. He used to be from Game Trailers, I think, or from whatever website, Kyle Gassman, Kyle whatever. He's like, you know what the biggest issue is with Switch 2? It's not a distinct 2. And he went over like shit like, look at Sonic 2. Yeah, like a beautifully graphically designed 2. PS2 at like the weird angle 2. And then the Switch 2 is just like a very bland, normal 2. It's like they don't own the 2. They should have made it a really distinct, identifiable number 2. You're thinking about twitchy FPS games and not like menuing. You know, the thing is, it is probably going to be useful for like exactly Mario Maker or like maybe some kind of point and click games, I guess, or whatever, Civ, stuff like that. Even though I don't know how much of that is on Switch. It's definitely going to be one of those things where it's rarely going to be used, but in the places where you could use it, it might be interesting. It also really depends. They just shown it like gliding. Maybe there's more to it than we understand right now. I don't know. It definitely feels like it's going to be more of a niche, small thing rather than like the point. It's like, oh, look what it can do as well, you know? Kind of like how the PlayStation controllers still have like the motion thing that no game ever uses, right? I mean, other than that, it seems very standard. It's a little bit bigger. Hopefully the controllers are a little bit better, less drifty or whatever. Because that was an issue with the first one, from what I hear. What I also didn't like was that it said some Switch games are supported. Or like, I guess they put it kind of vague in the sense that they could have meant it in like the PlayStation 5 way where like, well, not all PS4 games are gonna work. And it was like 10 games that didn't work. It's like, I mean, sure, right? But it could also be like more than half that don't work, which kind of would be crazy. Considering, you know, I don't see a reason why with the Switch 2, it's like, why wouldn't some old games, like why would some Switch 1 games not work? Maybe they're talking about those games that don't actually run the game, but they're like a cloud streaming thing. Maybe something about those kind of games won't work. Because if they just run natively on the OG Switch, I don't see why it wouldn't run on the 2. No, not there. There you go. It is the one thing I wanted out of Switch 2 is having access to Switch 1 games, because I've never bought an original Switch, nor have I ever felt the need to. But if a Switch 2 would be able to play all the games that I would want to play on the Switch, that would be cool, right? But I guess we're also at a point where I'm like, if I'm gonna spend that money, might as well buy a Steam Deck. Because there's probably going to be more games on that I would want to play. The Labo stuff requires OG controllers. Some games require the infrared sensors, those won't work. Other than that, it's only a select few where devs did weird shit like with the PS5. Yeah. It's still it's still crazy to me with the PS5 how it's like a bunch of games you've never heard of, like some weird Japanese titles, you know, Fishing Manager or some shit. It's like, that makes sense, and then amongst the list is like, oh yeah, and Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It's like, huh? What? And then they fucking fixed it. And then they patched it to 60 FPS. Like recently. Which to me is like a double huh? Like, I mean, sure. But they also really, really didn't have to. You know? Wonder how you get there. To be fair, I can't, on the top of my head, think of any game really I'd be like super, like, I don't know, like into to get on the Switch. I mean, there's probably some, but nothing I can think of. Because, like, I'm not, I don't know, maybe I'm missing out on something. What is he doing? Was there an enemy down there or something? Like, I've never been super into Nintendo's original IP, I guess. You know, I've never been much of a Mario or Zelda guy. Pokemon, yes. But the way I see it, it's not like Pokemon current day is like a reason to buy a console. We got him, boys. All right, let's do this puzzle. Let's move this one to the side. We need to see what's happening here. This one actually goes here. This one goes here. So I guess we got a couple lined up already. This one, would this be here? I think it is. So we need to turn it. I think I need to flip it. Flip it and bop it and twist it. Something like this. Bonk. Perfecto. There we go. Made it further than last time. You'll love to see it. Let me actually do break time. Now that we're here. Oh, good shit, good shit. They also announced the Evo games, right? Though I haven't really looked at it. I've just seen people complain Mortal Kombat's in. Who writes about this stuff? I guess Event Hubs. Here we go. Main stage, Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Guilty Gear, Grand Blue. Predictable, right? Under Night Invert. I'm kind of surprised. I don't really know much about that game. But the name keeps popping up, so they must be doing something right. I don't think I've ever seen anyone play it though. Mortal Kombat 1, which a lot of people are like, why? I guess money. Fatal Fury, is this the new game? It might be the new game that's gonna come out. And then Marvel 2. But then they also have like the extended lineup. Rivals of Ether. That's like a Smash type game, right? It's kind of crazy Smash is just not in. So weird. Virtua Fighter 5, cool. King of Fighters, cool. Blaze Blue. Why? Why? Killer Instinct, cool. And then like True Mystery and more. What could that be? What could it be? And more kind of sounds like, you know, something that may not be announced yet. Because, you know, think about it. Especially Evo now. Like, they're doing these announcement streams. Like, the devs of the games have, like, little videos that are like, hey, we're going to be on the main stage. Thank you so much for the support. So, like, clearly Evo has gotten big enough where, like, the tentacles reach all the way up, right? So it would also mean if there's a game coming out that is not publicly known yet, for example, they could put it on the extended lineup before we know about it. You know, for example, Project L. Wait, what's it called again? 2KO? Yeah, 2KO. That game, who knows? Maybe it'll have like a beta and you can play the beta version. XKO, that's right. What did I say? 2KO? But like, look, if they wanted me to say their name correctly, they could have thought about picking an actual name instead of just random numbers and letters. 2XKO. They should have called it Twice KO. If they really wanted to go that route, Twice KO. That would have been more memorable. 2XKO. That sounds weird. Double KO. I mean, come on. Yeah. Obvious. Double KO. But then it just sounds too generic, I guess. Then it just sounds like you're saying a thing that's in the game. It's just a bad name all around. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's just a bad name to the point where Project L feels like a better name. And it's a placeholder name. And it feels like a better name. Like, I don't know. 2XKO is just bad all around. And it's a fucking League of Legends game. Please. Use the fucking name. League of Knockouts. Oy, oy, oy. Legends Battle. Legends Arena. Legends versus. Dude, got it. Legends versus. Whoo! Bingo. Kind of out that League of Legends is nowhere in the name, right? Maybe 2XKO is the second placeholder name. I really hope they switch it. It's such a bad name. But anyway, there's still room on the lineup. Dead or Alive. Gotta crank, sniff, and huff all the hopium you can get around here. All right. Huff, huff, and puff. Dude, there is never. I feel like God. DOA at Evo would unironically, at least I think, it would be a well of memes, right? I don't think, like, just imagine it for a second that they did it. You know, let's say this year Team Ninja comes out of nowhere. It's like DOA 7, baby. And it's like a playable game, right? And then Evo's like, hey, guess what? DOA on the extended lineup, right? That live stream is going to be a nightmare in the chat because all you're going to see is core values. That's all you're going to see. Evo is so attached to that. But at the same time, it would be like a moment. It would be like, you know, almost like a statement. Like, hey, that was the past. Remember who said core values? We kind of don't want to associate with him anymore. And people like that in general. You know, redemption. Because it's not like Evo. I think a lot of people in the DOA community feel like Evo hates DOA. I don't know, there's some history there and whatever. But at the same time, like, remember DOA 6 before launch, the year before it launched, had demos and stuff at Evo. So it's not like Dead or Alive is banned at Evo like forevermore, right? And then they did Evo Japan and, you know, core values happened. But whatever. What I'm saying is, if there's a new DOA, it doesn't seem unreasonable if Koei Tecmo wanted to, you know, put some marketing things in action. It could happen. But that will imply there's a DOA 7 coming up, or a DOA remake, or anything really DOA related that's not DOA Prism. And I don't think we're going to see extended lineup DOA Prism runs. So, you know, not hoping too much. Soul Calibur could be amongst them. Soul Calibur could be a extended game. I can see that. Anyway, Prism Harem ending speedruns are going to be dope, dude. Speaking of speedruns, did you guys see the Crazy Taxi speedrun where they have a live band playing to avoid copyright? That was such an insane idea, but I love it. That was amazing. If you haven't seen that, look it up. It's so funny. Unbelievable. Anyway, give me 5. I'll be right back. puff, and bake. Whoosh, whoosh. I've been thinking might be fun. So since last year, not last year, you know, since December 2023, I've been playing the drums. I bought an electronic drum kit. I've been playing the drums, right? And something that has popped in my head the last couple of months is like, I could curate a playlist of like, you know, cool songs from video games, like the DOA ones and stuff, where I could learn the drums. And then I could do a stream where I'll be playing those songs. Right, that would be kind of sick. Or another option is just, you know, learning the songs on the fly or improvise. That kind of shit is fun. Because that's something I'm already doing now in general. Like, I'm still learning, right? I'm following like lessons and stuff online. But, you know, whenever I drum, part of it is going to be lessons, but part of it is also like, let me just put on songs that I know that I listen to, but you know, where I never like analyze the drums perfectly or like wrote them out how you play it. So I'll know the basics and then I'll just improvise or try to hear what they're doing. And that's been working out pretty well. It's pretty fun to do. It might be a fun idea. And they just don't die from shooting. God damn it. Start talking, bitch. This better be enough to heal me back up. Yes! Beautiful. Look at Rozel's waist to hip ratio. Couldn't get this in mobile games anymore, yeah. Skinny legend. Skinny king. Oh? We got 3 buttons. Symbols that don't match, but 3 symbols on the ground that seemingly are the same everywhere. Yeah, different symbols on the buttons, same symbols on the ground. Okay. I'm assuming I can twist and turn this knob. Yes, sir. Do we have any clues? Blues clues? Any blues clues? Maybe in the spirit world? Maybe it's something like that, right? Because I don't immediately see any clues. I don't immediately see places to go, I guess. Maybe we can just turn and see what happens. Okay. Let's go to the spirit realm, see if we get any clues here. Ah! Jump. Come here. Here it is. Tuning fork with a cup, triangle with a stanky leg, and a circle with a Z. OZ. Alright, we got a triangle with a stanky leg. Does it show here as well? Yeah. Okay. No need to spirit on this one. But we got a Z with the O. OZ. Oh, was the other one already correct? Probably then, right? Yeah, I nailed this one. Wham! Flip a switch. Ooh. Oh shit. On the other side. How clever. Oh shit. Has this all been foretold?
My arrival in this miserable age. What trickery is this?
It is no illusion, Raziel, but a glimpse into the currents of time itself.
Quick, look at the winning lottery numbers. You are about to make a killing. What's here? Oh shit. Wait, if I interact with that, does it just show the same cutscene again? Is that what it is? Hold on, let's save. I think it will just show the same cutscene, right? I can skip it if it turns out to be. Yeah.
My arrival in this miserable
Wait, I can't skip it
age.
here? Oh my god, that's
Trickery is
fucked up.
this?
You can skip the animation that goes to this, but not
It is no
skip
illusion,
this.
Raziel, but a glimpse into the currents of time itself.
A glimpse into the currents of time. Man, this world, this lore absolutely needs to come back. With modern technology, they can just, ooh, or like maybe not modern technology per se, but like, I don't know, if you put the right writers and the right world builders on this. My God. It's such a fascinating world, really. So much potential. I guess that's the biggest thing. So much potential.
These apparitions torment me. Has this all been foretold? Impossible! This must be one of Kane's deceptions.
Very slow progress, but good, you know? It's about the quality of the progress. Who's this? Looks very Caney. I mean, very Razieli.
My mind reels with conflict. Does Kane await me moments from now? Or in some century yet to come?
Who knows? Another one.
This cannot be. What madness does this scene portend? Kane must think me credulous to suffer these lies.
When DOA 7? Next week. Didn't you hear? With guest character, the floating ghost from earlier in this game. She's gonna be in. Hell yeah.
Is this phantasm a conjuration of my mind, or an echo of
And with the
future
red one.
events?
Sheesh. I heard they will release a new volleyball game soon. Yeah, I think that's in March, I believe. I still have to order it. Wait, which direction did we come from? Fuck! I mean, I guess we'll notice if the cutscene starts. I think I'm in the wrong way. Yeah. I'm still deciding if I'm just gonna buy the game or if I'm gonna buy like the version with the art book and stuff. Because that might be a neat thing to have, you know? Because I don't think this game is gonna be super successful. It seems unlikely. But at the same time, you know, even if it's not popular or successful, it might be cool to like have a little extra thingy, a deserved premium collector's edition. The thing is, there's like two, I guess there's a premium and a collector's edition. The premium edition is like in between. You can either buy just the game, you can buy the premium edition, which is the game, an art book, I think the soundtrack, I'm not actually sure. And then there's like an Omega collector's edition, which is very expensive. And it has like a body pillow and shit. Actually, things I really don't need. I go for all in. That the collector's edition, the all in, is like 270 euros. It's like unbelievably expensive. Let me check real quick because I have a tab open. I'm gonna order it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Yeah, collector's 275, excluding shipping. So you have to pay shipping as well. And since it's, you know, at least for me, shipping is gonna be a lot on that because there's like a lot of material stuff. And I don't need a body pillow. That being said, the one with the art book, let's see, it has a sample. Is that a poster, perhaps? It has art book. It has ASMR, whatever the fuck that is, and some stuff. I actually don't know. But I might get that one. But you know. Do they handle VAT customs or this and that? I was just looking at PlayAsia and they include VAT. They pre-handle that stuff. So it also doesn't, or it's not likely to get caught at like, what's it called? Like I'm blanking on the English word for it. Like customs. I guess customs. Yeah, that's the word. You know, where they have to handle and you have to. I think PlayAsia pre-handles everything, which, you know, nice. And that is how it, because I did look into it, and that is like an official way, right? The EU allows that. If the store outside of the EU, if they collect the VAT and like, I guess they can also do customs and stuff, you know. It doesn't necessarily, there's always a chance it gets like marked at customs for like a random check. Then you're fucked because that costs money as well. Weirdly, like they do a random check on your thing that you ordered and you have to pay for it. That's such an insane thing, by the way.
At last. I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers?
Did it trouble you when you ordered me into the abyss?
No. I had faith in you. In your ability to hate. In your self-righteous indignation.
Lies. You cannot have foreseen all of this.
Eternity is relentless, Raziel. When I first stole into this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel. To see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never have contained such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Gazing out across the plains of possibility, do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? And as such, are we not indivisible? As long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. And that is why, when I must sacrifice my children to the void, I can do so with a clear heart.
Very poetic, Cain. But in the end, you offer no more than a convenient rationalization for your crimes.
These chambers offer insight for those patient enough to look. In your haste to find me, perhaps you have not gazed deeply enough. Our futures are predestined. Mobius foretold mine a millennium ago. We each play out the parts fate has written for us. We are compelled ineluctably down preordained paths. Free will is an illusion.
I have been to the tomb of Seraphan Cain. Your dirty secret is exposed. How could you transform a Seraphan priest into a vampire?
How could I not? One must keep his friends close, Raziel, and his enemies even closer. Can you grasp the absurd beauty of the paradox? We are the same. Seraphan and vampire. With our holy wars, our obsession with Nosgoth's domination, who better to serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil?
I will not applaud your clever blasphemy. The Seraphan were saviors, defending Nosgoth from the corruption that we represent. My eyes are opened, Cain. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
You may have uncovered your past, but you know nothing of it. You think the Seraphan were noble, altruistic?
Damn. The lore.
Don't be simple. Their agenda was the same as ours.
You are lost in a maze of moral relativism, Cain. These apparitions and portents. What game are you playing now?
Destiny is a game, is it not? And now, you await my latest move.
Why is it not hitting him? It's so weird. Do I have to start manually aiming now? I had to pay for the Wolong shirt I want. Damn, that's fucked. Damn, that's actually fucked. That's like a little known thing, right? Especially if you're from Europe. If you win a prize and they send it to you, you are paying taxes on it. And especially if it's like, oh, I'm entering a contest for the new NVIDIA GPU. If you win like a 4090 or some shit, yeah, because these fuckers are like, well, in the store it's like a couple $1,000. They're just gonna fuck you. You're not gonna pay taxes out of the ass.
You nearly had me, Raziel. But this is not where or how it ends. Fate promises more twists before this drama unfolds completely.
Be warned, Raziel. Once you cross this threshold, you are beyond my influence.
Oh shit.
Raziel, Redeemer and Destroyer, Pawn and Messiah. Welcome, time-span soul. Welcome to your destiny. Where time is but a loop, a loose stitch in the universal cloth. A streamer might seize upon a chance,
streamer, that's me.
a fatal slip, and plunge the fate of planets
I'm the
into
streamer.
chaos.
To be continued. Yeah. What a game, dude. What a story. I do love, you know, and like the impact, of course, is lessened because I knew the whole time angle shit, right? But the first time you're like, oh, you know, I'm just revenge, right? I'm going after Kane, yada yada, and then it ends with like, oh, but I've predicted this and I've been at this shit for a century and like yada yada. It's like, huh? Like the realization at the like right at the end of this game that you are such a small part, seemingly right now, in this whole thing, like way smaller than you anticipated. That made me so excited for the sequel too, back in the day. Oh man. That's it. That is it. There is a number 2, so the story does continue. God, this is again. I mean, I'm a broken record at this point, but there's a reason why people have been asking for the return of not just Soul Reaver, but the legacy of Kane. Like this franchise, people have been asking for its return for so long. I think this, you know, it just shows it's such a powerful. What's the word I'm looking for? Everything in this world they've created speaks to the imagination. Like you can't help but wonder, but what's behind this? But what about this? But what, like, it's, I don't know. It's so fucking sick. Damn, they're showing the credits of Soul Reaver 2. Crazy. But yeah, it's a world that is begging to be explored more, right? Man. Could have played a song over the credits. And I can just skip them like that. All right? Oh, shit. I guess if I want to, I can go back. I guess the one thing is that one puzzle is probably still fucked forever and ever. So if I wanted to 100% complete this game, I would have to replay from the start. Which, you know, is a bit unfortunate, but, you know, It's not that big of a deal, right? All things considering. Did I really save? I mean, I guess I didn't save for the first time. This is when I realized I should be saving every so often on a different slot. I'm actually curious. Where was it? That's probably the harder question. Where the fuck was that? Is it already here? Or was it here? Or was it here? Oh god. It was in the fucking thing with the... It was in the cathedral, right? In the sanctuary cathedral or something. Man, there's like literally spots I haven't been. It definitely was one of the earlier things, I believe. Was it before or after the human city? Must have been after. It's probably here. Oh, fuck. Wrong button. I guess I could have just looked here. Silence Cathedral. Oh! I think I nailed it. Isn't there a teleporter at the boss fight? That might be actually shorter. Right? I think there's a teleporter at the boss fight. So I'm gonna go back. Or is it shorter? I actually don't know. But which one is that? Human City? This is... Maybe it's this one, because it is like a spidery, like... Yeah, and it's not on the map, so it's definitely... Yeah, this is gonna be it. Hoppa! Felt about the same to me, okay. I guess from here you can just drop down a lot. Here, right? Was it through here? I think it is. Is it? Is it? I don't think it is. I think it's here. I'm glad they remade the they remastered the games like this. But to be very honest, a fucking full-on remake, I could go for that too. I think they should have remade both into one more coherent game. Yeah, that would be sick as well. But that's a whole other project. I think the biggest reason we're seeing this, we're seeing the Tomb Raider stuff, it's like, I think it's a pretty like low risk move in the sense that they don't really have to redo that much. Most of the game is there, right? I think that's kind of where it comes down to. I am slightly stronger since the last time I was here. It doesn't matter to that stupid block. I can only hope that it's been long enough that the game is like, yeah, I've unstuck the block. But it did not. It's so fucked. It's just stuck completely. I don't even know. Like, at least with the end of the game, there was a reason, right? Two blocks fell into each other, and that's why it was stuck. Here, that's not the case. I wouldn't even know why. They just put into emulator and re-release. That's not true though. They definitely had a team that reworked a lot of the graphics and stuff. They added stuff like the map that wasn't there originally. You can't platinum this playthrough anyway. I mean, it would be fun to at least get a lot of the collectibles and stuff, if possible. I guess if I would want a platinum, which is not pretty high on my list of things to do for platinum, but it's always fun for the future, right? God. But if I'm gonna do that, it's probably gonna be more time efficient to just grab a guide, make sure I don't miss anything. Dude, we missed all the glyphs. That's crazy how I missed all of them. Like, it's not like I went out of my way to ignore and only do the main story. I just legitimately missed all of them. And I guess for some things I could have been a little more inquisitive in sense of, oh, I can climb now, let me go back to all places where I vaguely remember being able to climb. I probably would have found some stuff. But yeah. It is what it is. Quit the game. Soul Reaver 2, baby. Woo! This is a game where I heard complaints about the remake, the remaster, because they didn't change that much. But I watched an interview with the people who did this, and they were like, well, with the original game, there was quite a bit of textures we can increase in quality and stuff. But the way Soul Reaver 2 was programmed, they couldn't just like blow up the textures and stuff, because it would break all kinds of stuff. So while they could clean it up a bit, a lot of the graphical stuff is similar to the original release. So this is probably like the least remaster around. But at the same time, you know, I feel like even the original games, very playable still, you know, considering their age, still pretty playable. There's games that aged a lot worse. So just having them available for modern systems, that's already a big win, right? I kind of feel the same with the remasters of the Tomb Raiders, right? The fact that you can just turn on the original graphics, play with tank controls, but have it available on PS5, PS4, Xbox, whatever, PC, right? Just have like a modern, just working out of the box, no weird community patches, no weird DOS box to launch Tomb Raider 1, no weird shit like that. That is also very important. And the remastered stuff, that's a cherry on top, really. Especially since it's not like they're asking $60 for this, you know? Like, these are kind of a steal, considering, especially if you've never played these and you're interested. Like, what was this? I think I paid 25 or 26, like the pre-launch price. Same with the Tomb Raiders. You're paying like $10 each. Really not that much money considering. Per game, you can buy half an outfit in a modern game. That's half of the entirety of Tomb Raider 1 Remastered can be purchased for the price of half a microtransaction. What universe we live in? Quit to the launcher. I am kind of surprised they didn't put Defiance in here. Because I feel like if you think about the lore of this game, right? To think about the lore. Blood Omen 1, while it's fun playing Soul Reaver 1, knowing what happened to Cain, knowing who Mobius is, you know, knowing about the pillars and the Circle of Nine and that, like, just having that lore primer through Blood Omen 1 is nice. It allows you to follow along a little bit better in Soul Reaver 1. But it's not essential, you know. Soul Reaver 1 makes just as much sense if you play it for, like, I never played Blood Omen before when I did it on stream, right? So Soul Reaver 1 perfectly makes sense on its own. It's just like, you know, you're just, some things you're getting introduced to don't immediately are like, oh, that's relevant, because, you know, the first time you find the pillars in this game, it's like not immediately super obvious why they're important, why they're a landmark, that kind of stuff. But then, yeah, Soul Reaver 1 moves the lore along quite a bit. Soul Reaver 2 as well. Defiance, the last game in the franchise, moves the lore along quite a bit. In between Soul Reaver 2 and Defiance, there's Blood Omen 2, which is a weird game. It's a weird game. It technically fits into the lore, but it's a weird one. It's basically like, you know, an alternate timeline version of events of Cain. But because it's in an alternate time, it's a weird one. Like, it technically matters in the end of the ride, but you can also just not play that game and understand everything just as much, right? It's also like made by a secondary studio or something. It's not the best game in the world. But what I'm getting to is Blood Omen 1, not exactly lore heavy, can easily be picked up through context in Soul Reaver 1. Blood Omen 2 is kind of a weird one, and without the knowledge of that game, you can, like, there's no essential lore in that game in any way. It's just like an alternate version of something. So really, Soul Reaver 1, 2, and Defiance is kind of like the whole Soul Reaver Legacy of Cain story arc. The majority of it. I feel like they just could have added Defiance in this collection. You know, sure, you couldn't have released it as fast as you did, but did you really need to release Tomb Raider Remastered at the start of the year, Soul Reaver Remastered at the end of the year, and then follow up with Tomb Raider Remastered Part 2 in like a month from now? Like, actually, it releases the 14th on Valentine's Day. So did they really have to blast out all these remasters so fast in a row? They could have easily kept this one in the back pocket until like next October, like Halloween vibes, right? And just worked on all three of them and just have like the full package. Because what are you going to do now? Release Defiance on its own? That doesn't make sense. Bundle it with like Blood Omen? Probably not. Because here's the thing also. Blood Omen 1 and Blood Omen 2, you can just go buy now on the PlayStation Store. They've put those up through emulation. Soul Reaver 1 and 2 and Defiance, they did not. which kind of implies, especially, you know, before this launch, was like, hey, why is Blood Omen and Blood Omen 2 there, but not Soul Reaver? And then the remaster came here like, okay, that's why. So, but what about Defiance? It's like they forgot that game even existed. That's crazy. That is wild. Anyhow, that was Soul Reaver. I kind of expected it to be shorter today, but I guess there was still a lot of lore and stuff, and I guess we talked about other stuff at the start. So yeah, I guess that's Soul Reaver Remastered. For next week, I think finally Virtua Fighter releases, right? '27th. That's okay. For whatever reason, in my head is the 24th, 27th. So that's like Monday in 2 weeks. So 7, 8, 9, 10 days from now. Okay, that makes sense. So next week is kind of like we do whatever week. Nothing new, nothing happening. We finished the playthrough. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was in the middle of Tomb Raider 2. Might just play fighting games, honestly, because I'm not really in the mood to restart a new playthrough. Because if I start Tomb Raider 2 again, I'm gonna feel like I have to finish it, and that's annoying with Virtua Fighter coming up. So I'm kind of just gonna, you know, play some DOA and shit. Maybe even Tekken. Tekken Online has become not much fun. I don't know what it is. I've been playing it again. I've been playing some Nina. Because I wanted a character that I learned on pad. So I can play, you know, like for example, right now, if I want to play Tekken, arcade stick make too much noise. Like my wife is about to go to sleep, I guess. So she wouldn't want to be woken up by on arcade stick. So I kind of wanted a character that I could play with a pad. And I'm trying out Nina now. But man, people are not interested in playing the game. Like everything is about that rank. It is so weird how when the game originally launched, and I guess in Tekken 7 the same thing happened, you know. At a certain point, the only people playing are just people who are grinding ranks with alternate characters over and over and over. And there's just so many people who, if they win rematch, the second they lose or the match was a little close, they just boop back out. It's kind of annoying. You can barely run sets. Even though it's so easy. The game automatically does a 2 out of 3 if you just rematch. But, you know, people just bounce. They just don't want to lose for whatever reason. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. Especially if you win too hard. If you win 3-0 or 2-1 or something, or 3-1, 9 out of 10 they're backing out. And it's annoying. But hey, what can you expect from Tekken players, am I right? Also, a lot of people playing Clive. Even though he's been nerfed now, doesn't matter. Like, easily 6 out of 10 matches, 6 out of 10 opponents are Clive right now. He's so overrepresented, it's not even funny. It also makes total sense. He's an extremely powerful character. The range on that bitch is out of control. The fact that he has a sword to swing around is just fucked. There's so many moves he does where you block it and there's no way to punish because you're just out of range all the time. Because the sword just like pushes you away. It is wild. But hey, you know what? I've been talking about it. Maybe this weekend I'll... Yeah, my 360 is standing here, so I can just... is it wired up? It probably is. I could actually play DOA 4 with my arcade stick. It might actually be a fun one. Go back to do some DOA 4, play around a little bit. Maybe we can do some DOA 5. Play online, actually. There's options. There's options for next week. All right, anyway, I'm going to wrap up. So, thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. Wrapped up Soul Reaver. Again, a franchise I really love. So, glad it's back. Hopefully, they do more with it. I would recommend these remasters. Remaster if you're into them. Yeah, good stuff. Anyway, boys and girls, have a good weekend. Take care. We'll see each other on Monday. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye. I saw the name Sayonara and I was like, would this be a good stream ender? Who knows? Fuck it, it feels too weird. Here we go. True ending unlocked. See you guys. Bye-bye.